Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny and welcome to this week's nursery tour. We are going to be spending a lot of time here in the pines today because there is so much wonderful things to show you. Here we are, beginning of April. It is just like, oh, spring has sprung in North Carolina and everything is waking up. So we're just going to go through, show you things that are going on in the gardens here at the Pines and plants that are available for you to come and take home this weekend. Open Friday and Saturday. This is the last weekend that we're going to be open on Friday and Saturday, and then beginning next week we will have extended hours, definitely open on Thursday and Wednesday. Jerry's behind the camera and I didn't want to say the W word without his permission, but he said that we can. So this week, the very end of March, is technically will be the 1st of April, right? Friday and Saturday, 9 to 3. Then the next week, which is that first full week of April, we will be open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 9 to 3. So lots of shopping opportunities. That will be our hours for the rest of the spring, summer season. Without further ado, look at these gorgeous hydrangeas. This is Fairy Trail Bride. Now, Fairy Trail, we've talked about it before. This is the first trailing cascading hydrangea. This spent all winter outside. So that's why I'm really showing it to you right now, because look at all that beautiful new growth on this thing. Fairy Trail is definitely for the warmer climates. It is full sun to part sun, so you need at least a minimum, I would say, of 5 hours of direct sunlight. It blooms on new growth and old growth. So you need to put it in a place where you don't have to prune it. It will be a 4 by 4 because it blooms on new and old growth. It has its bud sets already. So you don't want to go in here and cut it, because anytime that you prune it, you're going to affect your flower power. But super excited about these. We are going to be putting a couple of in the landscape in our backyard, so they are available for you. We did have them covered on the 19-degree night, so because they had already flushed out some new growth, so we did have them covered. And then we're going to mosey on this way because we have got some gorgeous hostas that are popping out. Like, I think if you stood here long enough, you could actually see them growing. There's a ton, we have a ton of proven winners. We've got tons of hostas just in general. So hostas, as a general rule, are a shade perennial. So you really probably can't have a shade garden if you don't have a hosta in it. You can, that's just a standard plant. So they prefer, if they have sun, it'd be a little bit of morning sun, cannot handle hot afternoon sun. They are generally, I was trying to think, generally hardy in zones 3 to 9. So that's pretty much all the basics on hostas. And then we're going to go through and just kind of show you the different ones that we have. So I have Empress Woo. Empress Woo is going to be one of your largest hostas on the market. This is a 1 gallon, beautiful foliage, just nice and happy and healthy, really great. So we have Empress Woo, nice and big. Then we have, you know, my favorite, Wee Hosta. Has that great bicolor variegated foliage on it. That's a little frilly edge. It's gonna be a nice little short one. So this does really well kind of in the front of your landscape and or containers. Hostas do really, really well in containers. Whether you have a small container or a large container, they can stay there for years. Then we have, this is Coast to Coast. I knew it had to be Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast is another really large one, but unlike Empress Woo, it has a little bit of a brighter foliage to it. A little bit more of a, not quite a lime green, but a brighter foliage. And as a general rule for your hostas, the lighter the foliage, the more sun they can take. The darker the foliage, the more shade they need. And then look at this. Is this just not beautiful? This is Autumn Frost. And Autumn Frost just has the most beautiful coloring on it. This is about, I guess what you would probably consider a small to a medium hosta. Kind of goes in the middle of your landscape. It could go in the front depending on what you have going on, but just the coloring on this is just gorgeous. Absolutely stunning on this. Another fun one that is a little bit different, it's almost like the reverse of Autumn Frost. This is Island Breeze. So Island Breeze has the dark edges, the light center, and its stalks have a little bit of a reddish hue to them. You can do, and some of my favorite gardens are shade gardens that just have tons of different hostas. So there is no really rhyme or reason that it has to be as far as your landscape planning when you're doing a shade garden with hostas, other than maybe you just start from the biggest in the back and you work your way down. But you can mix and mingle these together. It's just such a lush, peaceful look that I love. Let's see, make sure we don't have any more. Oh, Seducer. Look at Seducer. So Seducer is fun. This is going to be, it does have a variegation to it, but this is just emerging. So the outside of the leaves will be a lighter color, a little bit limier, darker green on the inside. It's not coloring up quite just yet, but it has some nice texture to it, a little bit of a wave, really nice. I mean, Seducer, all of these are lovely, just lovely. And then here we go. Here we have Diamond Lake. And Diamond Lake is going to be more of a blue hosta. So it's just now, you know, emerging, but it's going to have a nice dark, what we call as a, like I said, a blue. We're going to use this in a special project here in the Pines, but Diamond Lake, it's going to be a nice size hosta, gorgeous color to it, nice texture. So when you come and you shop, basically the world is your oyster. You can just kind of choose whichever one strikes your fancy and go for it, because I have got hostas galore. I've got them here, we've got them further up that we'll show you some more. Lots and lots of options. We're going to take a little bit of a detour because I want to give you an update on the bed that I just added to the other week. Because remember, I was here and I was taking out all the perennials except for drinking gourd out of the refrigerator, and I added them to the landscape. So I've got one more hosta to add. We have these available, but this is Empress Wu in a 3-gallon, and so this is going to be basically like a full-size plant when you put it in the ground. But look at all of that new growth popping up. And when I put her in the ground and she's got some room to spread her legs, she is going to take off. So it is going, I think it was there. Oh, wow. I think that's where she's going. I know the exact placement. But we have got all sorts of fun things in here. And even since you were here with me when we were planting this, like the painted fern is really coming up. And most of these we have for sale here at the nursery. So I have the painted fern. I have the Lady in Red. She's a little bit slow. She likes it a little bit warmer. We've got the wee hosta. Look at the Heaven Scent. Look how really well it is doing. And I have not watered any of this. The good Lord has taken care of them and has gotten them with rain. So they are doing really well. And then look, Woo La La. Remember Woo La La was in the pot and I took it out of the pot. Look how much it has grown since then. Really nice. And the Gold Heart Dicentra is doing well. So all of that is just growing and thriving. Even the drinking gourd. Remember, I took everything out. I left drinking gourd in. Lots of new growth. This thing in a few short weeks will be huge and it will fill up this entire refrigerator. So she has the whole refrigerator to herself. Coming on over, we have got, like I said, the Jacob's Ladder, which is Heaven Scent. These are just stunning plants. Huge, massive, gorgeous plants, perennial, extremely cold tolerant. We are on the border of it being a little too warm. So for us, if you have this, you need to put it in the shadiest spot of your garden because it just cannot handle the heat here in the south. I have them, of course, in the landscape. I'm thinking that probably these will be a lot like bleeding hearts in the end of July and August when it's our hottest, that these will start to go dormant, but we shall see. I haven't had them in the landscape until this year, but just beautiful colors on that. We've had a lot of people ask what this is in the chair. This is a rhododendron, and so gorgeous coloring on that, along with the bleeding heart. I mean, like, you could just do this as a bed, right? The rhododendrons, the bleeding hearts, the Jacob's ladder, all that together would just be beautiful. Lots of nice spring color. Also, we still have Linton Roses. So if you need Linton Roses, hellebores, we've got those. All different colors. Remember, these are wonderful for your winter interest. So these have starting to finish up with their blooms. There's a couple that have some little buds on them, but for the most part, this is the end of the season for the Linton Rose. So it has a little bud on it, but typically they will start blooming December, January, February here in North Carolina. I have an overachiever that likes to start blooming in November and goes all the way through the winter. But think beyond what season you're in right now. So if you see Linton Roses, hellebores, go ahead and grab some, throw them in the ground. Wonderful shade perennial that's deer resistant, and I'm telling you, in those winter months, you will be so glad that you added some of those to your landscape. We also have a few Clematis available. So mostly what I have are the burgundy colors, Niobe, and well, Niobe, there's a different one too, but these are burgundy ones. You can see nice new growth covered in little buds. So if you're looking for a Clematis, I have those colors available. Talking about more hostas, more shade-loving things over here. We have not talked about evening gown, I don't think this season. Evening gown is one of my absolute new favorite eucheras. I dare say this might take the place of black pearl, because as the season progresses, these leaves just get bigger. They are noticeably larger than black pearl. It can still do the sun or the shade, the same characteristics that we love about black pearl, but just a little bit bigger and prettier. So we've got the black pearl here. This is a really fun hosta. This is called white feather. And white feather, as it emerges, it comes out white. So there's a little bit of a green to it right now, I know that. But as it comes, the leaves will actually be white. Once you get into summer, then they do turn green, but this is going to be a nice size hosta. Nice and tall. Let's see if I can find the measurements for you. 14 inches tall, 24 inches wide. So I have this in my shade garden at the house, middle to the back of the bed. So it'll get really fun interest. So if you don't have any of those are great. We also have Sum and Substance. Sum and Substance is a classic hosta. Nice, like the leaves on these things are huge. Lime green, I actually have some in the ground that get a lot of hot afternoon sun, and they do really well. I want to show you this because we haven't talked about this. Maybe you have read about these, and if you get some gardening magazines, this is a new one. This is Dark Side of the Moon Astilbe from Proven Winners. So Dark Side of the Moon Astilbe, again, a nice kind of shade-loving plant typically. So Astilbes were always more shade. This can do full sun to full shade. If you give it full sun, you need to make sure that it is well watered. It is just waking up from its winter slumber, and what is so neat about Dark Side of the Moon is that it has, I'm just gonna use my Cliff Notes here, really rich, deep chocolate brown leaves, and then it will have raspberry buds that open to rosy purple flowers. This is hardy in zones 4 to 9, and it will be about 2 feet wide and about 2 feet tall. So gorgeous. nice dark foliage. Can you imagine like this astilbe with that white feather? Gorgeous. So when you're planting your garden, think about those different textures. We also have the crested surf fern. That's a crested surf fern from Proven Winners. Again, just waking up from its winter slumber. On the tips, they will have little fringes. You can see a little bit on this one where it will be a fringed end. Really nice, neat texture, gorgeous color, a little bit shorter. This will be, let's see, 20 inches tall, not so short, and you're going to space them a little bit more than 2 feet apart from each other, and they are going to be hardy in zones 3 to 8. So of course, lots of good shade for that, ample water, really pretty. Lots of beautiful options on that. Rhododendrons. If you have kind of a filtered sun area that you need some evergreen color in, then rhododendrons are a great option for you. We have got all sorts of different colors. They're basically going to be in the white to the pink family. You can see that they are covered in buds, but rhododendrons, again, classic southern shade plant, nice height to it. Most of these are going to be in that 4 to 6 foot range at the absolute most. Again, like I think what Jerry's showing you right now is the album, which is going to be a pretty white. We have a lot of the Catalanese, which are in the pink family. So we have got them and they are nice size. These are 3 gallons, really nice. We also have Queen of Hearts and Jack of Diamonds. So this is the Queen of Hearts, Brunnera. Again, a fantastic shade plant. Very similar to a Hosta, but it's not a Hosta. Has really kind of coarse leaves to it, tends to be much more deer resistant than a Hosta. Beautiful baby blue blooms in the early spring, just nice silver overlay on it, really pretty. So you've got lots of options. If you have shade spaces, then we have got options for you, absolutely, for sure. Let's see, where do we talk about going next year? Let's see, he's like, I don't know. What you talking about, woman? Oh, I know. Let's go over here. We'll take a quick little walk because we have got limelight hydrangea trees for you. We still have some, and if you are interested in doing a limelight hydrangea tree, now is the perfect time to do it because this is a little lime. But the little limelight, other than the size, the same characteristics. You can see they're just now flushing out with their new growth. Perfect time to get these in the ground before the heat of the late spring, summer hits. We had quite a few people who bought these in late summer and they struggled with them because it's so incredibly hot. They're full of blooms, full of foliage. The plant just has a really hard time keeping up. So if you are interested in either little lime trees, and we have limelight trees, you need to come get them and get them in the ground as soon as you can because it's easier on the plant and it's easier on you as a gardener to get them established. One of my all-time favorite perennials I wanted to show you. You've been around, you've heard me talk about this. This is Ascot Rainbow, a spurge. Just an easy, low maintenance, really for the foliage perennial. It has a very, I don't know, kind of an earthy, musky smell to it. I love it. This is its flower. Not super spectacular. Again, it's mostly for the foliage. So after it blooms, you can cut it back and it'll get nice and full. Variegated foliage on it. This is going to be hardy in zones 5 to 9. You can plant it with all sorts of fun things like irises and violets and ice plants. 20 inches tall by 20 inches wide. You need at least more than 4 hours of sun a day. So it's very versatile, right? In how much the placement of it. But again, I love this in a mass grouping. Super, super pretty. Color. If you're looking for color, of course, we have got it. We've got the Super Bells. These are just some of the things out. The Super Bells, the Goldilocks Rocks. Look at that flower. Look at that. This is a huge pollinator attractor. Goldilocks rocks, you can tell from its beautiful flower. See how it got its names, because it just is rocking. It does wonderful. Mini Vista Indigo, this is a great way to show you how on the same plant you can get different colors. The new blooms are a deeper color, nice deep indigo, and as they age, it'll almost turn a white with that blue veining. So on the same plant, you will get a variation of color. This is a mini vista, so it will do great in the landscape. Lots of mini vistas here. Strawberry plants. This was so much fun. I have to stand on this side, but look at, because there was one. So this is Buried Treasure Red. Look at that. Now, yes, these are a little advanced because we started them in the greenhouse, but do you see the fruit on that baby? Oh, yes. So there is Buried Treasure red, white, and pink. The only difference is the bloom color. So obviously, strawberry, the red blooms. Then the white blooms, pink, so forth. But the berries are all the same. These are ever-bearing strawberries. That means it's not like what our typical strawberry farmers, where they have a huge spring crop and then they're done. These will continue to produce berries all growing season long. Your first year, they're gonna be kind of on the small side. They're perfect for snacking. So when you walk by, if one is ripe, you can just pick it, pop it in your mouth. It's delicious. So these are really fun. Huge hit with the kids. My sweet Harper, who comes just about every week in the summertime, we have some in the landscape. So every time Harper comes and it's strawberry season, she and I have to go take a little walk to see if we can find some strawberries so that she can have a little snack while she's here. But we have got Baptisia. We've got, ooh, peonies. Come over here real quick. Look at all these beautiful peonies. We've got the Ito peonies and your traditional peonies, but they are putting buds on. Look at this, buds. So if you need a peony in your life, which I think everybody needs a peony in their life, these do great in like a sunny location. Stick them in there. Big, huge, gorgeous blooms on them. Lots of different colors to choose from. And then we also have proven winners, the Weigelia. This is a Weigela Spilled Wine, which is the shorter one. And then we have Wine and Roses, nice deep foliage, gorgeous color on it. And we also have those center stage crepe myrtles. Thank you. Crepe myrtles, what are those things? So again, nice deep foliage on them, beautiful color. We're not even gonna go in the greenhouse today. Maybe we'll end. How about that? I'll give you a little sneak peek so you can see all the color, all the things. It's in there. And again, this is just a small sampling of our the annuals that we have. I think we need to go up to the new production greenhouses. I must have walked through a spider web. The new production greenhouses next week and show everybody all the beautiful things that we have. But we have got, whether you need perennials, annuals, hanging baskets. You see the hanging baskets? They are coming along quite nicely. Getting nice and full, reaching out. They love these warm temperatures. But anyway, come see us this week, Friday and Saturday, 9 to 3. Beginning next week, that first full week of April will be Wednesday through Saturday, 9 to 3. As always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a fabulous day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.